Hey guys. So, as you know, we have been talking about party styles this week, and yesterday we talked about my favorite party style, which is basket parties. And basket parties is something that I have done now for probably the past 4 years. And to tell you the truth, in 2017, I did zero home parties. Zero. And so far this year, in 2018, I have done zero home parties. So you can do this business and be successful by not even packing up and leaving your home, as far as packing up your stuff and leaving your home to go to a home party. There is a lot of, I think, doing basket parties, I have had to become more organized. I've had to become more in depth as far as my hostess coaching goes and staying on top of things, and especially customer follow-up, because doing home parties, you are in front of people, whereas a basket party, as you know, you're not in front of anybody. You are, or a tote party, however you want to call it, you're trusting the host to collect orders. So therefore, she needs to be coached very well, and you need to stay in touch with her throughout the whole entire thing. So before I get in depth of how I do mine, I want you guys to understand that for each consultant, it's going to be different. What works for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. Just a little bit about me for those of you that don't know me personally, and the reason why I chose to go with basket party style, why it works so well for me. I still work full-time 32 hours a week doing inpatient medical coding for a large university hospital out of it's Thomas Jefferson University Hospital. So it's out of New Jersey. Sorry, my mind went blank. And I worked for Duke before that for over 5 years, and then I switched over to this coding contracting company. So those of you that know about the medical field and know about the inpatient medical coding side, it's a very demanding job. It's not you just clock on and work your 8 hours and get off. It's you clock on, and I'm a level 3 coder because I've been coding now for over 10 years. So I don't have a management position, but yet I have coders underneath me who I'm responsible for. And when charts get sent back for mistakes or whatnot, I have to contact the coder. Sometimes I'm on the phone back and forth with doctors and nurses for clinical documentation specialist stuff, and it's very demanding, okay? So even though I do that from home, I'm stuck in my office, which is beneficial because, as you guys know, I'm able to pop on some throughout the day because I can take breaks, more so being at home versus if I was in office or whatnot, I wouldn't be able to do that. So there is a benefit of me working from home and able to kind of help work my Scentsy business at the same time. I'm not supposed to do that, but I've got to do what I got to do, because if I just focused on my job only, Scentsy would get pushed till I got off at night. And each night this particular week, I did not get off until 8 o'clock p.m. each night. So therefore, I'll be up to 2 o'clock every morning trying to get everything in. So with that, my husband owns, or we own, I should say, a small convenience store and grill. It's called Bridgersville Convenience Store and Grill. It's a small little country store and grill. My parents had it for 17 years, and we purchased it from them about 7 years ago. He's physically down there all the time. We have 10 employees that work for us. I'm not physically down there. However, as you know, it takes a woman to kind of help manage things when it comes to organization and all that kind of stuff, figuring out hours. So I have to do all the back end stuff, and I do the payroll and the taxes for that as well. And we have 2 kids who during the summertime play sports. And so I'm drugged from here to there. And my husband is an avid hunter. He's an avid bear hunter. He is not a hobbyist with that. It is a lifestyle for him. So it never stops. He hunts with hounds. And so he is constantly running dogs, and he's gone. And I don't have anyone really but my mom that can watch the kids, and I hate asking her to watch the kids all the time, especially on the weekends. So therefore, with everything I have going on, I choose to do basket parties and online parties because they work so well with my busy lifestyle. And honestly, the customers that I have, they prefer doing it that way. Now, if it is someone that a new customer I get that does not know much about Scentsy, or their family and friends don't know much about Scentsy, then I always recommend doing a home party, and I will do one for those that are new and have family and friends that don't know much about Scentsy. Or if they don't prefer a home, then I always offer an online, or at least doing a basket, setting up a Facebook event where I can go live and do videos, where that way I can explain how Scentsy works, because face to face is always better. So I want you guys to get this in your head right now while we're talking about this, that all party styles work, and you can be successful not doing a home party. But if you choose not to do a home party, you need to be sure that you set up some sort of Facebook event or a group, and you go live in there and you talk to your customers and they see your face, and you do a demonstration of products. You hold up a warmer, stick your finger in the wax, all the things you would do in or at a home party. You make sure you do that for your online parties as well, because customers want to see your face. They want to see you. And just like me, if I'm going to purchase a product that I've never tried before, why am I going to trust just posts that I can go pull off of Pinterest myself? I want to see that consultant. I want to feel connected with her. I want to hear her, see the products, and as well as have everybody else involved in the party as well. Interaction and getting testimonials from customers. So all this plays a very important part with basket parties. It's not, you just don't hand the tote to your host and send her on her way. So I'm getting ready to go more in depth about how I do my basket parties and how they work. So I call them tote or basket parties. And whenever I first started doing basket parties, they're called just that because we actually used a basket. We used a Easter basket, just a regular old Easter basket, and we put a warmer in there, an actual full size, most of the time, warmer in there. We put samples, catalogs, order forms, different little products, stuck them down there, scent circles, room sprays, whatnot, and sent it with our host on our way. Well, after I kept getting my baskets back with missing testers or broken warmers, I was like, something's got to give, because at that point I was not making enough money to keep replacing warmers. Okay, you can't keep replacing products, even though it was a tax write-off. Of course, still, I mean, I was using my personal warmers that I had, because when I first started doing this, I did not have extras. I had just what I used and just what came in my kit, and that was it. So after getting broken warmers, I was like, I've got to try something different. Well, I guess every consultant was feeling the same way around the same time, because this genius, and why we didn't think of it before, come up with using an actual tote, an actual bag that's zipped of some sort. And it was insulated, and it was a 31 tote, a 31 lunch tote, which is like this. This is what I use for all of mine. I have some Initial Inks totes that are insulated as well, and Scentsy now has totes. And I have not invested in any of Scentsy's, because these that I have are still okay right now, and they're monogrammed. But when mine start tearing or getting stained and getting old, which a few of them are, then I'll probably start replacing them with the Scentsy ones that actually have Scentsy, the logo on it. But anyway, so now that we started using these, things have changed over time. Just like the Scentsy wax samples way back then, they were huge containers, and I actually wish that I had grabbed one, because I have one. As a matter of fact, I'm going to jump up. I'm sitting on the couch, so I'm going to kind of like be leaping over. So just give me 1 second, and I'm going to go get that, and I'll be right back. Told y'all I was going to be leaping over. Sorry about that. I got my Scentsy blanket. But here, this is a white tea and cactus. We still have that scent. But here is what our samples used to look like. They were huge. And this one has got to be right at 8 years old. Because I got it when I first joined. And it still smells, y'all. So good. And it's 8 years old. But anyway, so if you can imagine putting the testers of this size in baskets and in totes, was a lot different than the size that we have nowadays. So I didn't put as many in there with parties. So anyway, now I use the 31 totes, and tote parties can be done either standalone, meaning by themselves, that's the only style that the host wants to do, or you can tag it along with a home party or a Facebook party. For home parties, I'm going to discuss each party style on a different day. Right now I'm focusing on basket parties, but I do want to let you guys know while we're in a discussion of party styles that home parties are super duper important, especially if you're first starting your business out and you haven't been in it for years and gain your clientele. Because you are interacting with customers and people, and they see your face, and it's building relationships is what this business is all about. It's not about who is a salesperson, because you don't have to be a salesperson to sell Scentsy, to be a Scentsy consultant. We share these products, and it is all about relationship building and who you can connect with. Sometimes your personality and sometimes your who you are as a, well, I guess personality, who you are as a person is not going to connect with a customer, and that's completely okay, but still give them great customer service, you know. And when you're doing a home party, you're in front of people, and that's the importance of Facebook Live and the importance of doing videos for your basket parties in a group or in an event, however you decide to set it up on social media, on Facebook. But make sure you have that, because you want to connect with people. Your customers. It's all about relationship building. There's no secret to success. It's just coming from your heart, sharing what you love, and building relationships and showing that customer you care. That's it. That's all there is to it, to being a successful consultant and gaining customers. And it takes time. No matter what your party style is, it's going to take time to gain customers, to gain repeat hosts. It's going to take time. You got to repeat and be consistent in your business over and over and over again to build it. It's going to take time. But as I was saying, your basket parties can be a standalone party. That's what a lot of my hosts decide to do. They just do a basket party, or tote party. I hand them this tote, and inside I have testers and samples and catalogs, the special flyers. I have order forms, an instruction for the host. I always give like a host print-off letter that explains how the party works, and I am going to put all these files up in our group for you guys that I use, so that way you guys can use them for your basket and tote parties as well. And I usually put a bar of the scent of the month in there. But this is one I just picked back up today. She kept the catalogs, but this is just the bag. I usually just stick the order forms and stuff in a bag, and I should probably mark out the name, but I usually put the order forms and stuff in a bag and stick it down in there, or an envelope, whichever one. And then I like using just the transition set testers. These are the new fall transition set testers. And I always stick a bar of the scent of the month, and I tell the host that's hers for her to keep. I always give her that, and that comes in my scent and warm of the month kit that I get. So that's a tax write-off, right? Because I'm giving it to the host for advertisement. And so yeah, testers, samples, which I have, catalogs, which she kept, order forms, an instruction letter, and usually maybe it's different samples of products as far as maybe washer whiff or scent circle or whatnot, different samples. It's what I stick in there. Really simple, really easy. They just really need the catalog and they need the scent testers. And I always use transition testers for my catalog parties because I feel that a full set is way too much for a tote party. It's going to be way too heavy, way too bulky. And if a tote party is an on-the-go party, and who has time on the go to sit down and smell 80 plus scent samples? I know I don't. Not unless I'm sitting at the softball field or baseball field or wherever and don't care about what's going on around me. But most of the time, these hosts collect orders from work, from church, from family, friends they briefly see over the weekends while they're at work. People don't have time. They don't want to take their whole hour lunch break sniffing scent. So transition testers really work well for me. Hostess coaching is huge when you're talking about basket parties. Why? Because the host is doing your job. The host is being the consultant. Ding, ding. This is where you need to keep in the back of your mind that if this host has a $200 party at least, which this host that just turned in this, guys, she's got a $700 party in here, okay? $700. My hosts keep their tote parties out 2 weeks. Why are my hosts so successful? Some are not successful as others. I have some that flunk, that ding, but if my host can collect a $700 order, either I done some mighty darn good hostess coaching or she is a rock star and she needs to be on my team, okay? So always keep that in mind with your host. No matter what kind of party you're doing, your host loves Scentsy enough to do a party. And if it's a host that does one over and over, she needs to become a part of your team and you need to be telling her, girl, you rock. You need to become a consultant. Did you know you can get paid off of these orders? You can sign up tonight and I can put all these orders in your name and you'll already be more than halfway over to your shooting star. Like, you can get paid off of this. You'll make your money back plus, sign up money back plus on a $700 party. So when I get ready to close this party, I've already been talking to my host. I keep up with her when I deliver. I coach her. I tell her, well, she's a repeat host, so she kind of already knows, but I still go over things with her and ask if she has any questions. This is a new catalog, so I always, on a new catalog season, even if it's a repeat host, I love to grab a catalog out and open it up while I'm delivering this to her, and I say, these are the combine and save pages, so it's a little bit different. These are the new combine and save packages. Whatever's different, because you know stuff changes from catalog to catalog. They take away combine and saves, they add combine and save, so your hosts need to know even if they're repeat. So you show them, especially if it's not going to be a home party. If you are doing a tote party, they need to know what's going on and where to concentrate on. And I always tell my hosts to concentrate on these combine and save packages because the more bundles they sell, the higher their PRV for their party is going to be and the more stuff that they get. So I really host my coach well. And I hand it to him. Mine stay open for 2 weeks. I deliver on a Friday and I pick up on a Friday. So I'll deliver on a Friday and then I'm not picking up to the following Friday. Well, the Friday that I deliver, the party's out. I'm also delivering orders. So it may be later in the afternoon when I get back home. Well, that night or Saturday mornings, I'll get up and I'll create their event or their party group on Facebook, whichever they prefer. A group, you can schedule posts in. And an event made by your business page is going to be public, but you can schedule posts in that. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't done one in a while. Most of my hosts want their parties to be private. So if you create it on your public business page, like my Donna Edmondson Scentsy Independent Consultant page, it's going to be a public event. Anybody can pull it up and see it that can go to my page. So if a host wants her event to be private, maybe in the case of whatever it may be, then I always create it on my personal page and create a private event, or either I do a private secret group, whichever one that she prefers. I like doing events. Some other people like doing groups. It's just kind of like a personal thing. Then again, there's no right and wrong. It's kind of whatever preference that you have. So I create that event, and once I create the event, I'll send her the link to the event that I just created, and in the description, and I'll even put for y'all my new fall description that I put for all of my parties, so that way you guys can see how I word things in my my events. So I create that event. I always include a link to her party, so that way anybody can order online. And then I'll like post a few times a day on the event, just various products. And I kind of do like laundry one day, warmers one day, like warmers and wax, laundry, body, clean, so on. I kind of have different things that I do each day. Some interaction stuff, some games, and I always do a drawing. The drawing, they can win, usually it varies from whatever I have in stock. It's usually either a room spray or a bar or a scent circle or a car bar, something of that sort, something cheap. But I always do at least one drawing, because I would do a drawing at a home party, right? I want to give something away small at a home party, like an icebreaker type thing. So I do the same thing for my basket parties or tote parties on my online event. But host coaching is very important. So even after I drop that off and I explain to her and show her the catalog and show her where everything is at and let her know these combine and save packages, concentrate on them, sell as many as you can. Even after I do that with her and I create the event's not the only way I stay in contact with her. I want to contact her like midway through that first week and just check in and see how things are going, see if she started collecting orders, if she needs any help, has any questions, whatever. And then I always check in with her again. Usually during a 2-week period, I talk to my host. If they don't contact me, which usually my hosts are in good communication with me as well. If they have a question, they know they can contact me. But I make point to check in with them at least 4 times during the 2-week period. And my last time is going to be on that Thursday to remind them I'm picking everything up on Friday, and I'll be there around about this time, and that way they'll have everything ready by the time I get there to pick it up. But hostess coaching is so, so, so important. You want to make sure that you cover first and foremost the catalog, of course, and that's the easiest way to host your coach is by actually flipping over the catalog to show them everything, the different warmers, the new packages. So I have my sheet that I use that I host my coaches with, and I'll share that with you guys. But the different product categories, combine and saves, the host rewards, of course. If the host rewards hasn't changed in a while, but I always tell my host, and especially if I know that this host, when she booked a party, if she was interested in getting maybe, let's say, a diffuser, she's had her eye on a diffuser, she's been a customer of mine for, let's say for this customer particularly, she's been a customer of mine for about 6 years now, and she has wanted a diffuser since the day it came out, but she just hasn't bit the bullet yet. And she's even hosted shows that qualified to get a diffuser half off, but she just hasn't bit the bullet yet, but she wants one very bad. And so I think this time she's actually going to bite the bullet. But I told her again that in order for you to get this diffuser half off, then you're going to need at least $350 in sales. Well, she hit $700. She's going to have over $100 in free product credit. Now, whether she's going to want to put that towards diffuser or she's going to do a half-priced item and then use the $100 to rack up on a bunch of stuff, that's completely up to her. But I'm going to let her know both options about her getting the diffuser with the $100 and something free product credit or doing it half off. So if you know your host is interested in something, make sure that you point out to them that they can get this product. They need to aim for this certain amount. Ask your host what they're interested in, what they're interested in getting. Let them know when you take the tote party to them and you're talking with them and you're coaching them, ask them to text you just a list of things that they want, just a wish list, and you are going to come up with the best way for them to get most of what's on that list for the cheapest way. And kind of look at their list whenever they text it to you and say, well, in order for you to get the majority of what you have on your list free and half off, you're going to need to have a $400 party or a $500 party. Give them a goal to shoot towards. I feel that's so important. Just like us in our businesses, we need a goal to work towards each and every single month for our business. Your host needs a goal to work towards, because if you just hand her this bag with testers and catalogs and order forms in it and send her on her way, and you don't follow up with her and y'all don't set a goal and you're not in constant communication with her, I'm going to tell you, you're going to get the bag back just like you gave it to her. Absolutely empty, with no orders, no money, just the stuff you sent in it. So hostess coaching is so important. You need to go over the different fragrance grids, what products are available and what fragrances. Show her that fragrance grid in the catalog. The catalog is the perfect walkthrough, guys, to coach your host. Combine and save packages, host rewards, the join opportunity. Always mention that to your host. Plant that seed. This, you can, even if it's something as simple as when you open the catalog up to the join page, say, and this is the consultant benefits. If you're interested, look over this, and say, and by the way, I think you'll be an amazing consultant, but look over this page as well, because this is an important page. And just planting that seed, something small and simple. You don't have to have a big spiel about it, but plant the seed of joining with your host. And all your hosts, not just your basket party hosts, but right now we're talking about basket parties, so their hosts are important as well. Payments, how do you collect payments? I use PayPal now, so that people can pay me by PayPal. They can write me a check. They can use a credit or debit card. And also go over what contents are in the basket. What did you put in there? And as I said earlier about following up, make sure you follow up with your host throughout the party. Not only being active on this Facebook event or Facebook group, but make sure that you follow up with your host to see how she's going, to see if she has any questions along the way. Once everything is over with and turned back into you, and you close the party out, a lot of these customers that ordered from her party, you've probably never seen before or met before, because you weren't in front of them to meet them. They may have seen you on your Facebook Lives or videos you've done on your Facebook event, but you haven't seen them and talked to them. So follow-up is important for every single order you get, no matter if it's a party order or individual order, but it's specifically important for basket parties because you want to build a relationship with that customer. You want to get that customer to become a friend, to become close to you. You want to be trustworthy to that customer. You want them to come to you as their consultant. So building relationships, there's no better way to do that than following up with customers. Make sure that I like touching base with my host to let my customers know when the party has come in, and let them know that I'll be delivering it on Friday. And I always deliver party orders to the host. I only deliver individual orders to individual people, but all my party orders, when they come in, I bag them, add my personal touches to them, and then I deliver it all to the host, and the host delivers it out. Well, after I give it to the host, like most of the time it's on a Friday because that's when I do all my deliveries and pickups. So I give the host the weekend. A lot of people she may not see until Monday morning if it's late in the afternoon when I make it by or whatnot. So I give her the weekend to get stuff delivered out. So on Monday, I kind of send her a text and say, hey, were you able to get all your orders out? If she was, great. Thank you so much. And then I start texting those customers that ordered. Hey, Susie, thank you so much for ordering from Maggie's party. Thank you so much for helping her reach her party goal. She was able to get $75 in free product credit and 3 half-priced items just by hosting a party. I wanted to thank you for your order and to make sure that everything was just as you expected. They're going to text me back. They may not text me back, but at least I contacted them. I planted that seed of how much this host earned just by doing a catalog party and keeping it open for 2 weeks long. So they're going to start thinking, wow, I just spent $60. Maybe I should do a party if I get that much free and half off. So planting those seeds are so important. And then regardless if I hear back from that customer or not, because some people are just busy, some people just read it and just put it down, some people will respond to you. There's all sorts of people in the world. So don't get offended if somebody doesn't respond to you. That doesn't mean that you're a bad consultant or you worded something wrong or you offended anybody. It just means that, hey, maybe they're busy, didn't have time to respond, and they forgot, okay? Don't take it personal. You can't take anything personal in this business. Nothing. So anyway, I always follow back up with them about 3 weeks to a month after that first follow-up. Let them know again, thanking them for their order, seeing if they need refills on anything, any personal specials I may have, and if I have any host specials going on, and letting them know I think they will be a great host, and letting them know whatever my personal offer will be to get them to host a party, and let them know how easy it is. So that is the spiff of the basket parties and how I do them and how they work. So again, just to go over the 3 main things. However you decide to make up your basket party or your tote party, whatever you call it, it doesn't matter. You don't have to go out and purchase 31 totes and get them all monogrammed and all that stuff. Go to Walmart, get you a tote bag. It doesn't matter what you use. Some people use pencil pouches and just put a few testers in there. Make up your party how you want to make it up. Include different things in there, order forms, catalogs. Some people put a whole bunch of stuff in there. I keep mine simple. I usually do testers, a few samples, catalogs, order forms, business cards, and my instruction letter for my host. That's usually all I put in mine. So I keep mine very, very simple. I feel like the more simple it is for me, the easier it is for the host, and the more success that we both will have. So number 2, your hostess coaching. So super important to host your coach. I am actually going to add a hosting coaching document to this page for you guys to refer to for hostess coaching, things you can do and say. And then number 3, follow up. As I stated earlier, basket parties are super, super easy. However, it's very crucial that you are very organized and you follow up with your host, and host coach is super, super important. And that you stay in touch with your host throughout the entire time. And that Facebook event or Facebook group is super duper helpful to the host as well, and for the customers, because they get to build relationships with you by seeing your face and doing a demonstration. You can record one video, save it to YouTube, and upload that to every single party you do. Every catalog season, do a video at the beginning of the season with some of the warmers and stuff you get, sticking your finger in the wax, doing a whole display. One day, whenever you're just at home and there's nobody else there, set you up, whether it's in your office, in your living room, wherever, set a party up like you were doing a home party. Sit your phone out somewhere, record a live, or get someone to hold the phone while you do it, but do a demonstration of different products. Just like you would if you were having a home party, and just upload that to all of your events that you have on Facebook for your basket parties and your online parties too. But anyway, I hope this helped you guys, and I am excited about discussing different party styles with you guys. This was basket parties. Next, I'm going to discuss home parties. This is important that we each find our own party style. So this video was a little bit long, but I hope this really helped you guys, and I will talk with you guys later.